power, regardless of how you came to power, it is your duty to solve Kenyan problems, not to scapegoat. Stop scapegoating. Deal with the problems of Kenyans. Stop scapegoating. Stop blaming Raila. Stop blaming Uhuru. And those who are talking about retirement.
Honorable Ruto, Honorable Sergon, Honorable Mureu. Order.
No, leave them for me. I'll deal with them. I can handle them. Madam Speaker, the solution to the current problem is not scapegoating. Face the problems squarely. If I were in power, I would deal with those problems. I would. Okay? But once your policies have failed or seem to be failing, stop venting your anger on helpless and armed Kenyan youth. Those youth you are killing require jobs, not bullets. Those youth that you are killing using the police and the militia require jobs that you promised them. Stop killing them. That is the message Kenyans are sending to you, Kenya Kwanza, Madam Speaker. And that message will be sent to you whether Raila Odinga is involved or not, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me end by saying this. Let me end by saying this. You cannot solve a governance problem by using strong arm tactics, by deploying the police to hunt leaders. No amount of arrests, no amount of incarceration, no amount of intimidation can silence Kenyans, I can tell you. And you have got no enough space in the prisons to jail everybody. You can't. And you have got no enough bullets to kill all Kenyans. I can tell you. You will kill some today, and those who remain will continue to remind you of your failures. So you better go back, relax, and start governing for the time you are in power, before we remove you. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Yeah.
Order, members. The next chance will go to the member for Thika.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, whatever we are discussing today is very important, and we need to address this matter once and for all. Madam Speaker, policemen and policewomen, they are human beings. They also have families at home. It's only that is their job, to be a police person. So when they come outside to protect businesses of people, or even to protect us, if you get a sling and a stone, and you can see that is a policeman in front of you, and then you hit him, don't you know you're also hitting a father or somebody's husband or somebody's child? And you know, when we are discussing about who was killed, as we are discussing how many people are killed, even a policeman is a person, and he doesn't deserve also to be killed. So when we come here to discuss this matter, and there's no way in this nation whoever condone militias to be coming out and taking advantage of demonstration so that they can be able to hurt others. What we saw on television, Madam Speaker, you don't wish anybody. What we saw policemen bleeding, being carried, being taken to the hospital, and it was not fair. If people want to demonstrate according to Article 37, do it in an orderly manner. Don't come out as thugs, criminals, snatching people's handbags, hurting them. It is not fair, Madam Speaker. You know, Madam Speaker, people are supposed to be demonstrating on the road. They are there going to school, hurting school-going children during demonstration. And they say that one is demonstration. Madam Speaker, people even pick a date to demonstrate. They don't care whether in 2 months' time Form 4s will be sitting for their exams. Class 8 will be sitting for their exam. Grade 6 will be sitting for their exam. They are just there. They don't care about anybody else apart from themselves, whatever they want to benefit. But what we are telling them from our side, because we want this seat clean and fair, they sit, relax, enjoy, and they see us, Kenya Kwanza, leading this nation to greater heights. Not coming to the streets of everywhere, damaging roads. Madam Speaker, can you imagine? This road, Madam Speaker, it is the one I use. It is the one they use. When you are sick, the ambulances uses that road. When they are going to the airport, they use that road. And they are here, Madam Speaker, saying it is demonstration. Which demonstration? Destruction, mass destruction. And I haven't seen anybody saying that that was wrong. They are very, very happy. Yeah, come out, they have succeeded. It's only that this time, the policemen and women said enough is enough. No more looting, no more destruction, and that is why people are crying. Policemen did only what they were supposed to be doing. Protect the lives of people and protect the businesses of people. There's nothing else they did. There's nothing wrong that they did. And Madam Speaker, you know, when it came to the maandamano, the ringleaders, they just came on the television, they said, we have 3 days of demonstration. I looked for the leaders who had called for the maandamano. I did not find them anywhere. They came up with a flu, others admitted themselves in police, in the hospitals, others took a trip to far away so that they cannot be held accountable. And they left men now demonstrating on the street. They left militias. Madam Speaker, people who come from my region, they don't want to hear the word militia. We know what it does to people. We know when the militias were there, what it did to our people. These are people who come, when you are on your way home, they attack you, they finish you. And that is exactly, Madam Speaker, what was happening in this town. Killings, people coming out, stealing life. They enter a supermarket. They rob that supermarket. They rob people on the way. And there's nobody who is talking about it. Those people in this town, you can imagine, Madam Speaker, we have just come up from a season of COVID-19. When businesses are starting to peak, then here you close your businesses for 3 days. And if you don't, we saw buses being torched. We saw matatus being torched. It is not fair, and there's nobody who is condemning that. And the leaders are here saying, oh, we are suffering from flu, others they were aware. If you say you are calling for demonstration, come out and lead from front. Anyway, Madam Speaker, let me stop it there. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Junet, not ready? Before Honorable Junet, then I'll give to Honorable Korere.
Shukrani, Mheshimiwa Spika, na napenda pia kumshukuru Mheshimiwa Rosa na pia kumpa pole zangu kama mbunge wa Laikipia Kaskazini kwake yeye na wale kina mama wote na wazazi ambao wamepoteza watoto. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, napenda tu kuongea kama mama. Na niseme kwamba Waswahili wanasema mkuki ni mtamu kwa nguruwe, lakini kwa binadamu ni uchungu. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, naomba ndugu zetu wote katika bunge hii, kwa sababu nafikiri lengo na Mheshimiwa Rosa kuwakilisha mswada huu ni ili tujadiliane na kupata njia kabambe ya kuweza kutatua shida iliyo mbele yetu. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, ukweli tuseme ukweli. Unajua uhuni haikubaliki iwapo inatoka kwenye polisi ama iwapo inatoka kwenye raia. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, unajua mara mingi tunakashifu polisi na tunasahau kwamba hawa polisi hawajatolewa nje ya nchi hii, ni sisi tumewazaa. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, kuna shida kubwa sana Kenya tunapozungumza sasa hivi ya watu wengi wamekuwa na kusongwa na mawazo. Kumekuwa na matatizo ya akili. Na polisi hawajasaswa. Pia hao wamekuwa na hiyo shida. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, ningeomba wakati tunaongelelea maneno kama tunayoongelea hapa saa hii, ni vyema tuelewe kwamba kuna wazazi wanalia wamepoteza watoto. Kwa hivyo tusije tukaweka msumari moto kwenye kinonda. Lakini pia ndugu zetu kutoka upande wa upinzani, ningependa kuwaomba kwa heshima, iwapo hawa vijana watakuwa wanakufa kila wiki, jambeni na nyinyi teremsheni kiburi chenu na muweze kusimamisha ya maandamano. Na iwapo hiyo haiwezekani, hakikisheni mara nyingine tukijadiliana hapa wabunge 3 wamepigwa risasi, ile pia tuweze kujua vile nyinyi mtasikia. Lakini unajua Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nilisema mimi nitasema, manake mimi nakuanga Jubilee na sitaki kujua nani atakasirika ama atafurahi vile nitaongea. Lakini Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nilitazama kwenye runinga na nikajiuliza swali. Mimi nimeshawahi panga maandamano katika eneo bunge langu la Laikipia Kaskazini, nikilalamikia maneno 1-2 ambayo ni tatizo la watu wangu na ni tatizo langu. Na kila wakati Mheshimiwa Spika, mimi nimewasha biashara ya bunge hii na mimi mwenyewe nimeongoza hayo maandamano. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, siku moja nilipewa kichapo cha umbwa na polisi. Kwa hivyo pia inastahili sisi kama wabunge, kamati ya usalama na wabunge wengine tuchunguze, tujue haswa polisi walifanya makosa gani na waandamanaji walifanya makosa gani, ili tusije tu tukaanza kuzungumza kufurahisha nafsi zetu na kusahau kwamba iwapo Kenya itachomeka, hamna nchi nyingine mtaita nchi. Kenya ikishomeka, Kenya kwanza imechomeka, Azimio imechomeka. Na Mheshimiwa Spika, ningependa tu kuwarai ndugu zetu, tuliweza kuweka mfano mzuri na wa kuigwa katika kanda ya Afrika na dunia nzima wakati tulipiga kura, na iwapo kiongozi wa Azimio hakukubaliana na matamshi ya majaji lakini aliheshimu. Unajua kuna kukubaliana na kuheshimu. Hakukubaliana lakini aliheshimu, na tukaweza kuweka mfano wa kuigwa katika dunia hii. Kwa hivyo ndugu zangu, tusije tena, wanasema mgema akisifiwa tembo ulitia maji. Tusije tena tukawa tumeheshimika, punde si punde tumeanza kuharibu ile heshima. Kwa hivyo ndugu zangu, mimi nataka kuwaomba, mnapojadili haya, mjadili mkijua wale wamekufa ni watoto wa binadamu, na pia polisi wamekufa. Na kama polisi walikufa, waliuawa na nani? Manake sidhani kuna polisi waliua wenzao. Kwa hivyo mimi nataka kusema hivi, kuna makosa yametokea.
Asante Mheshimiwa Korere. Muda wako umeisha. Mheshimiwa Junet.
Madam Speaker, thank you for giving me an opportunity. Madam Speaker, first I want to bring to the attention of the House. Madam Speaker, we are discussing the National Police Service of the Republic of Kenya. And Madam Speaker, this police service is funded by the taxpayers' money, Madam Speaker. And their allowances and their salaries are paid by Kenyans who are taxpayers, Madam Speaker. And Kenyans are both in that side of the House and this side of the House, Mr. Speaker. We all represent Kenyans, Madam Speaker. The people we represent in this country are also Kenyans. We are not representing here Tanzanians or Ugandans, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, let us not use the floor of this House to create a picture of a partisan police force, Madam Speaker, police service. We must be careful of that, Mr. Speaker. I expected, when the mover moved the motion, the next thing we should have done in this House, Madam Speaker, is to observe a minute of silence for those people who were killed and who died, Madam Speaker, and who are mortuaries, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, stand up now and serve a purpose of minute for people who are in mortuaries in our constituencies, Madam Speaker. We are just putting on suits here, but we are not happy, Madam Speaker. We are stand up and observe a minute of silence, Madam Speaker. Let's observe a minute of silence.
Order members, take your seats.
Thank you very much.
Take your seats.
Madam Speaker.
Order members, Honorable Junaid, we will do the minute of silence after your contribution.
Okay, yeah. Thank you. Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my time is running. Madam Speaker, the most shocking thing in our country, Madam Speaker, is the way things change. The more things change, the more they remain the same. Madam Speaker, people have been complaining about police force since independence. And a new constitution was brought into this country, Madam Speaker. We changed the police force from the former police commissioner to IG to police service, and the constitution is very clear, Madam Speaker. It's saying national security is subject to authority of this constitution and parliament. Madam Speaker, it is us who are supposed to hold the police force accountable. And that's what we are doing this afternoon, Madam Speaker. This is where they are supposed to be held accountable for their actions and commissions and omissions, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, if we are the ones here who want to defend them as though they are our gardeners or our staff at home, then, Madam Speaker, we are lost. Where else will they be held accountable if it's not on the floor of this House, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, if we don't question on the floor of this House the death of 30 or 40 Kenyans, where else are we going to ask it? In the streets? Madam Speaker, we must take our responsibility as a House very serious. And this is where issues of concern to the nation is discussed, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to say this categorically. Personally, where I represent my constituency, we have lost people. And I don't think we have lost these people in the right way. They have died death which was not theirs, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I was listening to Honorable Bokose. He said some of the people who were shot from the back. I want to tell you that those people were shot because they were running away from the police. So when you're running away, it is your back that faces the police. It's not your face. When you face them and then they put a tear gas on your face, you run away. When you run away, they shoot you on the back. That is how they died, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me proceed. Madam Speaker, let me ask you something.
What is out of order, Honorable Bokose?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the Honorable Junaid has, I don't know whether you are being distracted when he was making this allegation.
Which allegation?
That I said the police, the people who were shot from the back. It was Honorable Buyu in her statement that said they were shot from the back. What I said is that if they were shot on the back, it means, and we saw clearly that the demonstrators were throwing stones, meaning the people who shot them were the ones behind them, not the ones who are in front.
Madam Speaker, let me proceed. Madam Speaker, my time is gone.
Honorable Junaid, please proceed.
Madam Speaker, in all these demonstrations, I'm giving you, in all these demonstrations, Madam Speaker, in all the demonstrations that happen in the country, I have not seen any recorded death of stones. There is nobody who has been killed because of throwing stones. People have been killed because of bullets. Who owns bullets? Is it the public or the police? Madam Speaker, I want to be informed by Honorable Millie. She has something to inform me. Madam Speaker, with your indulgence.
Honorable Millie Odhiambo.
Thank you, Madam.
Yeah.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. Madam Speaker, I wish to inform Honorable Junaid Mohammed that there are actually videos going around that it is very clear that the gunshots were coming directly from the police, those in uniform and those without, and they were police who we can actually see their faces clearly.
Point of order. What is your point of order, member for? Honorable Millie Odhiambo, I don't want us to use points of orders and information to debate. Honorable member for Madeira, what is out of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, on Order 91, which requires a member to substantiate, I believe Honorable Junaid is out of order when he says that those who were shot by police officers.
Order, members.
Madam Speaker,
Order, members.
it has...
Order, Honorable Amombi In fact, what you're debating, Honorable Junet was right to actually quote Honorable Pukose, and Honorable Pukose has put his information proper. Because Honorable Rosa had made some allegations, same as Honorable Pukose, and it has been cleared. So let Honorable Junet finish. Yeah.
Madam Speaker, a lot of my time has been... Madam Speaker, let us agree on one thing as a nation. If we don't want Article 37 of the Constitution, let us do a constitutional amendment and we repeal it, so that we don't need it. But so long as that article in the Constitution, Madam Speaker, that article, people must be allowed to exercise their freedoms and their rights under the Article 37. Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, when you go to Article 239, it's very clear, national security organs, in performing the functions and exercising the powers of the national security agents, and every member of the national security organs shall not, one, act in a partisan manner, Madam Speaker. We cannot have a partisan police service, Madam Speaker. That cannot happen in this country, over our watch as members of this House. Secondly, Madam Speaker, further any interest of any political party. If Kenya Kwanza wants to advance their agenda, let them have, like KANU, let them have Kenya Kwanza goons and youth wingers. Let them do that and use that to... You cannot use the police to propagate your agenda, Madam Speaker. That cannot happen. The police is there to protect and defend the rights of every Kenyan. And once that is lost, Madam Speaker, that is the beginning of anarchy in this country. That is the beginning of anarchy, Madam Speaker. Let us not lose that...
Honorable Junet, your time is up. This next chance will go to the Leader of Majority.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Maybe, Honorable Speaker, I just begin by telling the Honorable Junet that the Kenya Kwanza government has no desire, has no plans to enlist the services of goons. Yes. Those who enlist the services of goons and anarchy are well known in this country. And I want to join you to say that the police should and must act fairly, objectively, and in line with the law. And with that, I thank the Honorable Rosa Buyu for having brought us this motion. Not necessarily to discuss the police, but to have an opportunity to have a conversation and a debate on violence and the use of violence as currency for political engagement in this country. Honorable Speaker, we've all been very keen to quote Article 37 of the Constitution on the right to picket and demonstrate. But conveniently, our brothers conveniently leave out a very critical part of that provision in the Constitution, that you have the right to demonstrate and picket peaceably and unarmed. Honorable Speaker, what we have witnessed in this country in the last 7 or so months these are not demonstrations. No picketing. What we have witnessed is sheer anarchy. It is riots. It is anarchy. Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from the member for Baringo, she will have an opportunity. She can stop contributing. I have a very good brain to be able to make my own contribution. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, it is sheer anarchy. We have witnessed a campaign of people being mobilized into riots, lawlessness, thuggery, robbery at times. We have seen people being robbed in the streets. We have seen shops being looted. We have seen highways, very expensive highways, being destroyed. Newly built roads like ABC running at Kangemi. Honorable Speaker, I saw the other day tires being lit. There is now a pothole in the middle of that highway. Tomorrow, there will be an accident there, and we will all be crying, oh, why is the ministry not doing this? What about the person who lit a tire to destroy that public infrastructure? I remember last term, when President Uhuru Kenyatta said, as he commissioned the Nairobi-Naivasha Railway, that any person who destroyed public infrastructure, he will not hesitate. In fact, if I quote, he said, haki ya Mungu, nitaweka sahihi anyongwe. I'm not saying anybody, President Ruto should sign for those who destroy the expressway to be hanged or to be executed, but I'm saying we must be responsible as leaders.
We are using heavy words today here, and that's why I took great exception to the use of the term genocide by the Honorable Samuel Atandi. We have used words like communities are being targeted, the Luo nation is under siege, it is being targeted. Honorable Speaker, it is true. There have been these violent riots, and I must hesitate from using the word demonstrations because there have not been a single incident of a demonstration or picketing until yesterday. And I must commend a group I saw in Kisii County yesterday, holding vigil, and they peaceably and unarmed. Hopefully it's Irene Mayaka who was leading them. And I want to encourage you, Irene, go back and lead them again. To peaceably have a procession peacefully. And they made their point without a single person getting injured, without a single person getting shot, without a single stone having been hurled at any policeman. That is the kind of country we should be building. Honorable Speaker, I dare ask, Honorable Speaker, how much violence is enough?
Honorable Ishungwa, Leader of Majority, do you want to be informed by Honorable Catherine Omai?
She has no capacity, Honorable Speaker. She has no capacity to inform me on anything, on any subject. Honorable Speaker, I was asking, how much violence is enough? How much bloodshed, Honorable Speaker? Honorable Speaker, I believe you will protect me from this unnecessary noise. Honorable Speaker, I was asking, how much violence is enough? How much bloodshed is enough? And I say this because I see a number of you from leaders from Luo Nyanza. And I want to look at you straight in the eye and ask you how much blood, how many liters of blood is enough? How many body count, how much body count do you want us to count for us to say enough is enough? Honorable Speaker, the mover of this motion Honorable Speaker, I am posing...
Honorable Otiende, what is out of order?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Madam Chair, I think the Leader of Majority was progressing quite well, even though the motion is about police conduct, but he's made it political, but that is discretion. But is it in order for the Leader of Majority to now single a single community and talk of blood as if he's imputing that the Luo community have spilled blood, when it is actually the Luo community who are bearing the brunt of all violence in this country in every year? Could he please withdraw that statement?
Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from Rosa Buyu, Honorable Speaker, or can you, Honorable Speaker, can you allow Honorable Rosa Buyu,
Honorable members,
to say what she's saying on record so that she's not shouting?
We shall not address members across the aisle. If you need to catch the speaker's eye, you know what to do. Honorable Rosa Buyu, Honorable Millie Odhiambo, do not shout across the floor.
Honorable Speaker.
You are out of order.
Honorable Speaker, you know I have tremendous respect for Senior Counsel Otiende Amolo because he listens and responds as we should do in a debating chamber, not shouting. And I must clarify to Honorable Otiende Amolo, I was speaking to the leadership from Luo Nyanza. And I was asking, we must come to a time now when we say enough is enough. That we cannot continue mobilizing people for riots in the name of Article 37 of the Constitution. Then we cry foul. Honorable Speaker,
Honorable,
last week,
order, Majority.
will I have time?
Honorable,
I hope you will add my time.
Honorable Ward Chief, what is out of order?
Madam Speaker, in this House, I hardly interrupt people. But some positions need to be respected. know what you are saying, how you are saying it, and to who. This thing is not about Luos. Is it in order to say what is saying and profiling Luo here, and on the same vein, you are sending Atandia out? Must he not also be subjected to the same standard?
Shame. Honorable Speaker, some of these things are not necessary to respond to, because if someone keenly listens to what I'm speaking to, they will get my point.
Other members, I really will actually engage and indulge us to actually just observe decorum, because I have had an Honorable Otiende Amolo, you can confirm that this came from this side of my left initially. But I would request honorable members that we observe our standing orders, don't cast aspersion to leaders, and do not get out of topic. Honorable Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for bringing order back to the House, because I was saying anyone who's keenly listening to what I'm saying, I was responding to the calls or the use of the terms like genocide, like targeting of communities.
We already ruled on that, Majority Leader.
And that is what, Honorable Speaker, I was responding to.
Yeah.
So those who are getting what I'm not saying, and Honorable Speaker, I was saying, as leaders, whether from Kiambu, whether from Luo Nyanza, we must now begin taking responsibility. I like what Honorable Sarah Korere said, that you can indeed lead your people in a demonstration, peaceably and unarmed. Honorable Speaker, last week, in Kangemi, there were people firing gunshots at the police. Honorable Speaker, in Mlolongo, in Kitengela, there was use of firearms by people who are not policemen. Honorable Speaker, we have used heavy terms like militia. And I remember when KJ, Honorable Speaker, can you protect me? Because there are only 3 members, Honorable Speaker, you have capacity to protect me.
Other members, we have done very well until this point. So let us not shout across the floor. If you want to put an intervention, you know what to do, honorable members.
You know, Honorable Speaker, I have been here long enough to know these tactics.
What is out of order?
Information. What about it? He's also making allegations against the public without substantiation.
Other members, you know I have listened to all of you. These allegations have come from both sides of the House. I have had people who say they were shot from the back, others from the front, others the police were shot. So if we are going to make progress, honorable members, let us be keen on what we present. Honorable Ishungwa,
Honorable Speaker, you know I never stand here to say careless things. There was a report, Honorable Speaker, that was released the day before yesterday by the Ministry of Interior that is in public record that 158 police vehicles have been destroyed, 305 officers injured, 1 policeman killed. Honorable Speaker, when I said there was fire towards the police in Kangemi, indeed, I happened to be in the vicinity that day, attending a funeral, Honorable Speaker, in a church. And the Honorable KJ, because I was with the Honorable KJ, he can tell you, as we waited, policemen had to take cover because there were gunshots coming from the crowd. Honorable Speaker, when the Honorable Pio and I was challenged on the use of the word militia, I want to state that it is indeed true. There has been a militia that has been used in these riots that have purported to be demonstrations. Honorable Speaker, you saw even our mainstream media houses cover incidences in Kitengela, where members of the public were alluding to the fact that all the people who were purportedly demonstrating in Kitengela were outsiders who were ferried into Kitengela using public service vehicles.
Order, members.
And you must add me time, Honorable Speaker.
Order, members. I know so many of us want to speak, and I want to confirm we have a lot of time for everyone to speak. We have an hour and a half to go. So we will speak. So we will give the majority leader to wind up, because your time is up, majority
Honorable
leader.
Speaker, you will add me the time that I have been disrupted. And I had time, 3 minutes, 20 seconds. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, if you listen to the people in Kitengela, saying that people were brought in to Kitengela in the morning, the violence that was meted out in Mlolongo was never by the people of Mlolongo or Mavoko, but it's outsiders who were brought in. Honorable Speaker, when you speak about militia, we know the militia and criminal gangs that have been used politically in this country since time immemorial. You know who dons the Mungiki sect and Mungiki militia. You
Mr.
know
Speaker,
who works with them.
My point of order is this.
You know who...
My point of order is this, Mr. Speaker.
Order. What is out of order, Honorable Junet?
Madam Speaker, my point of order is this, with a tremendous respect to the majority leader. Madam Speaker, he's alluding to here that there were people who were ferried from outside to Kitengela. Madam Speaker, the question I wanted to ask is, what kind of inept and useless government is he running not to know that people were ferried at night there to go and cause havoc, and he's just sleeping? He's a majority leader. He should have known it by night, Madam Speaker.
Order, members. Order, members. I don't remember Honorable Ishungwa being the intelligence boss or anything like that, but please continue.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. You know, I allow Honorable Junet because he's a serious leader, and he will never shout for nothing. He will state things, but the day I run a government, you will get to know. Now I'm not running one, Honorable Junet. But I was saying, Honorable Speaker, these are facts that I'm speaking to, that there have been people who have been mobilized, criminal elements, and the police must deal with all criminals, whether within the political circles or outside the political circles, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I was saying in Mlolongo, Honorable Speaker, when people were demolishing the expressway, and Honorable Junet knows where he was, and he knows that.
Order, members. Order, members. Order, members. If you have put an intervention, kindly remove. I'm not even able to pick who is doing the point of order. So please remove, because we are following the main list, so that I'm able to tell who has an intervention.
But his time is up.
Order, members.
Point of order. Point of order on what you raised.
Honorable Otiende, are you on a point of order? No. You're waiting to talk. All right. Honorable Kamket, are you on a point of order? If you're waiting to speak, I will not give anyone now on a point of intervention. Majority Leader, please, you have 1 minute. Wind up.
Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, it's rather unfair to give me a minute and not allow me to speak when Honorable Millie Odhiambo continues shouting. But I was saying this, Honorable Speaker, because you are shouting for me not to tell you the truth, but I'll speak the truth to you. As leaders from Luo Nyanza, you must lead from the front. You must stop mobilizing your people to death. You must say enough is enough and no more bloodshed. How many liters of blood do you want? For you to be able to negotiate yourselves in power, you shall no longer use bloodshed to negotiate yourselves into power.
Order.
No more bloodshed in this country to negotiate yourselves.
Order. Order, members. Order. Order, members. Order, members. Order, members. Order. Order Irene Mayaka, Honorable Mbaka, Honorable Irene Joki, take your seat. Take your seat. Honorable Ferdinand Wanyonyi, take your seat. Honorable Kawanjiko, order, take your seat. Honorable John Paul, take your seat. Honorable Amashukuru, take your seat. Honorable Dorothy Mudhoni, take your seat. Honorable Janet, take your seat. Honorable Honorable Yagon, take your seat. Honorable Mokami Mashinani, take your seat. No. Honorable Catherine, take your seat. Honorable Mishiboko, take your seat. Order, members. 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 On the request of Honorable Junet, we are going to stand up for a moment of silence. And that one is now authorized by the House. Order. Order, members. Order, members. Order. Order, members. Honorable Fatuma, Honorable Fatuma, Honorable Kawanjiko, silence. Order, members. This moment of silence is for everybody. For the police, for the others, all of them. Order. Order, members. Order, members. Order, members. Order, Honorable Rosa Buyu. This is your motion. This is your motion. This is your motion. This is your motion. Take your seats, honorable members. Take your seats. Order members, will continue with this motion. Order members. Order. Order. Order members. Order members. We have a lot of interest on this motion, and we want to give members time to ventilate on this motion because it is important. So I ask all of you to maintain decorum in the House. Majority Leader, 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Honorable Speaker, thank you for bringing us back to order. I was going to conclude, Honorable Speaker, and say that we must, as leaders, declare that enough is enough. No more blood should be shed in this country. No more blood should be used as a currency for political negotiations. And for the record, Honorable Speaker, and as government spokesperson in this House, I want to say for the record, even with the bloodshed, Honorable Speaker, there shall be no handshake. We shall not allow people to use bloodshed, violence, and anarchy as currency for political negotiations. Honorable Speaker,
your time is up. Your time is up. Order. Order members. Order members. There is a lot of interest on this motion, and I want many of us to contribute. So the next chance will go to the member for Makueni, Honorable Susan Kiamba.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me an opportunity to make my contribution on this very important motion. Thanking Rose Ombuyu Mheshimiwa for bringing it to the floor of the House, because foremost, I think I am among the members who have come to the Parliament for the first time. And one reason why I wanted to come to Parliament, because I've been in the community development, I wanted to come to a place where at one button we can institutionalize change. I came to Parliament because I thought Parliament is the place where if you want this country to change, at a split of a second, we agree on something and it changes the whole country. So, Madam Speaker, listen, I'm contributing to this motion. So basically, Madam Speaker, in this particular country,
Honorable Wako, what is out
all
of
the
order?
members in this particular...
Honorable Susan, order.
What's wrong? I'm not saying anything. Thank you. What is the Speaker? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you for giving me the mic, Madam Speaker. I wouldn't want to interrupt my friend, Mheshimiwa, but what she's saying, you know, it is true that this is a place to come and reason, debate, so that we can bring changes. But how can we do that, Madam Speaker, when others interfere with you, make noise like my good friend Millie Odambo, make noise? How can we debate soberly when we cannot...
Honorable Wako. No. Honorable Wako. Honorable Wako, what is your point of order? Because Honorable Millie Odhiambo shouting across the aisle is actually out of order, but Honorable Susan Kiamba was going very well. So let Honorable Member for Makueni continue.
Yes. Thank you. Madam Speaker, thank you for your protection. And basically, what I was saying, we are very privileged, 349 people, to make decisions for 40 million Kenyans. We are very privileged. We are among the most educated Kenyans. We have the best exposure courtesy of our communities. And I think this is
Honorable
This is a
member for
privilege.
Makueni, honorable member for Makueni, address the chair. Address the chair.
Madam Chair, this is, by those particular statistics I've already given you, this presents a house of honor, a house of respect, a house representing all the Kenyans, despite the political divide. When a Kenyan dies, there is no blood that is UDA, there is no blood that is ODM, there is no blood that is Kenya Kwanza. All blood is red and all blood is for Kenyan citizens. Yes. Madam Honorable Speaker, I am very disappointed when I see honorable members thinking the death of any Kenyan, whether the Kenyan is coming from Makueni, whether the Kenyan is coming from Luoland, whether the Kenyan is coming from Kikuyu, and death of any Kenyan must worry us as representatives. So when deaths of people do not worry us, Madam Speaker, I feel as a person, I feel as a house, we are degrading our status that this nation has actually given to us to make decisions on behalf of the 50 million Kenyans. Madam Speaker, I once worked in South Sudan, and I thought it was crazy when one time I took my colleague who had an accident to a mediation place by the government. And the person who was mediating said, "We are going to jail you, Kenyan, because if you did not leave Kenya, this accident would not have happened." I thought that was very absurd until I heard it, Madam Speaker, in this honorable house. When somebody says, you would not have been killed if you were not on the street. I think there is no law in this country, there is no law in this country even that allows anybody to be killed because you were found somewhere stealing.
What is out of order, Leader of Majority?
There are methods that actually can be used.
Honorable
I
Speaker,
continue?
The member on her feet is quoting.
What is out of order?
Honorable Speaker, I was waiting for the ones who have a trophy in shouting to finish shouting, then I articulate my point of order. The member who was on her feet, clearly articulating very good points about incidences in South Sudan, is alleging that a member, without naming that member, and if I remember, Honorable Speaker, if you can protect me from these ones. Honorable Speaker, the member who spoke about that, the member who spoke about people being mobilized, Honorable Speaker, was Honorable Pukose. I also alluded to the fact that there are people who are mobilizing people to riot. And nobody alluded to the fact, Honorable Speaker, that if you are not in the street, you will not be shot. Because you have the right to protest, but you must do so peaceably.
Order,
and unarmed. When you have Mungiki to go and terrorize people in Kitengela, those are people who must be dealt with in line with the law.
Majority
Therefore,
Leader,
Honorable Speaker,
that is a point for debate. That is a point for debate. Honorable member for Makueni. Wait for the microphone. Wait for the microphone.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your protection. And I think I'm making a very strong point. Even a Kenyan who is found on stealing, the first point is not to kill the Kenyan. Yes. We have trained police who can arrest, yes, who can actually do anything else apart from stealing, apart from killing. I think the last option that a Kenyan police has is to kill, and in very rare circumstances. I find it very difficult.
What is your point?
Madam Speaker, I find it very difficult when anybody justifies killing,
honorable member,
like in breaking cups.
Point of order, Madam Speaker. It is important to inform.
Is it a point of information?
It's a point of order, Madam Speaker, that the police have the right to defend their rights as well. The police have the cardinal right to defend their rights.
Members, what is out of order? Order, members. Order, members.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Order, members. What is your point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Hold on, Honorable Susan.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Is the Honorable in order, Madam Speaker, when he alleges that, when he justifies the fact that people have been called to demonstrate and therefore they have a right to be there and they have a right to be shot by police. I think that's what I heard say. And they congratulate
Honorable member, Honorable member for Endebess.
And they congratulate Lut.
Honorable members, at the start of this sitting, Senior Counsel Otiende Amolo raised a very important point to the Speaker: abuse of point of orders. So please, if something is not out of order, let let the members to finish. What is out of order? What is out of order?
Madam Speaker, under your watch, there has been perennial an observance of the roles of this House. Madam Speaker, there is a reason why standing orders provide instruments with which members can bring issues to the floor. Heckling is not one of the instruments, Madam Speaker. So if any individual wants to prosecute a matter, there is a reason why they brought this adjournment motion. You cannot use unconventional instruments on this House while you're the sponsor of the adjournment motion. If you wanted to prosecute the matter by heckling, you could have heckled elsewhere. You cannot sponsor an adjournment motion and heckle through the...
Honorable KJ, order, members, you have made your point, but I want to agree with you. The heckling is unparliamentary, it is out of order. And let me finish. This heckling, order, members, this heckling is not a preserve of one side. So I would really request both sides to maintain decorum. Member for Makweni, please continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for your continued protection. And I think all of us should agree in unison that in this country, when we talk about police brutality, whether it's something we should actually look at. Yes.
You're done. Thank you. Honorable members. What? Order, members. Order, members. Order, members. The point of information has to be allowed by the Speaker and the member, but her time is already up. Order, members. The next chance, what? Order, members. Order, members. I want, Honorable Susan, I'll give you 1 minute. Wind up, and make sure you use it to wind up, and then I'll give to the
My last comment. If you look at the people who were killed, if you do analysis, you will find they were in the ages of 13 to 23. Anybody who has ever attended a unit of sociology knows how young people behave anytime there is commotions. Already, when you kill somebody on that age, people were just going, some of them out, like in my constituency. The young man was fetching water and he went to just check. So how can a police force that we have employed continue killing young people as young as 13 to 23? We have all the data. So I think, Madam Speaker, I think this House...
What is the point of order, Honorable Ruto?
I think this House, with all due respect, I think in this House, we should raise up to the occasion and be accountable, make the police accountable to this House. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, thank you for this opportunity. Is it in order for the honorable member to allege that police shot at a 13-year-old child? I mean, in that case, where did the 13-year-old child appear in the demonstration and destruction? Because the point where police met with the demonstrators is where there was destruction. So in this case, where was the 13? Those are allegations, and it should be substantiated according to the standing order. Because it's an honorable house, it should not go on record that a 13-year-old child has been alleged to have been shot in a demonstration. And then someone has to take responsibility. Why do you bring children to the demonstration? Thank you.
Order, Honorable Irene Mayaka. Shouting across the aisle will not be permitted. Let us maintain decorum. All of us will get to speak. The next chance I'll give to the Honorable Member for Buri, Honorable Rindikiri Mogambi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to pick from the point that death is death. And I'm not used to making allegations, but when I was in the farm in Narok, one of my shops was being raided in Kitengela. And as a community of businessmen in Kitengela, we were very keen to give instruction to check the people who are demonstrating. And it was very clear there's nobody from Kitengela who participated in those demonstrations. There are people who came, strangers, and they did what they did. What we want to ask ourselves, and we should not play only thou to please our masters. What we need to analyze is who organized these gangs to go and terrorize people's businesses. We need to analyze. It's true you have the freedom to demonstrate, but it is incumbent upon the arrangements and the organizers of the demonstration or picketing to ensure, from their perspective, there is law and order. Madam Speaker, we are trivializing issues here. I don't believe in shouting. Where I come from, we don't shout. We listen and we speak. Madam Speaker, let people not members here think that others who are quiet, they know nothing. And shouting is not a preserve of certain people. We are here as a house of decorum, and we are addressing an issue that has been brought forward by a member. What am I saying? We are in a situation where people must learn to say the truth. And we must start with the truth. The demonstration taking place has nothing to do with the cost of living. My observation, and I beg for attention, it is dread post-election violence which has been given time to prepare for the way forward. We all know, we have vast information. We have more deeper information. All of us, including Junet. The master organizers are known to Junet. The masters of the police, they are known to the police. So, when we come here and we play to the gallery, the matter is very serious, and we must go to the root cause of this problem. We must address where these people came from and who organized, who funded. We have to know why somebody who lives in Kisumu, works in Kisumu, is killed in Kitengela. We have to know. We have to know who organized and made that 13-year-old boy to go and destroy Express Highway. It's not simultaneous. It's not something that just happened. It's not something. Madam Abuya, I have a lot of respect for you. And can I finish? You executed your case.
I will give a point of order to Honorable Buyu. What is out of order? The microphone.
Is the honorable member right in intimating that if a person is born somewhere and lives there, that is the place they should die or be killed, when we know that in Kenya there's freedom of association, you can go anywhere, you can carry business anywhere, and if that finds you in another place, there's no crime in that. Is it in order? Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, with all due respect.
Do you want to be informed by the majority leader?
Honorable Speaker, I wanted to inform the Honorable Rindikiri that it is true, people who work, live, and were ferried using PSVs to Kitengela. Those are facts that speak for themselves. And what Honorable Rindikiri is asking is true. We must know who mobilized them. And that is why I was telling Rosa Buyu, you cannot mobilize people in Kisumu to come and cause chaos in Nairobi, then
Majority
start
leader,
behaving,
information is to
pretending that you are now crying for them.
Order.
That you are the mobilizer.
Order, members. Order. Majority leader, the information was to go to Honorable Rindikiri. Honorable Rindikiri, you have 1 minute. Wind up.
Madam Speaker, we have to know, and let's not pretend. Madam Speaker.
What is out of order?
Madam Speaker, I need to proceed because the...
Hold on, Honorable Rindikiri. Honorable Junet, what is out of order?
Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker, Madam Speaker.
Order. Order. Honorable Buyu, Honorable Wamombi. Order.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable Junet.
Madam Speaker, can I say something? Madam Speaker, if I was to listen to what the majority leader said, that there are people who have been ferried to Kitengela and main people. The question I want to ask in this house today is, who ferried people to Northland, to the farm of Uhuru Kenyatta? Madam Speaker, is it not the same people?
Madam Speaker, can I proceed?
Is it not the same people who ferried people to Kitengela, Madam Speaker? And I'm reliably informed.
Madam Speaker.
These are people who are in government, Madam Speaker, who are ferrying people.
Madam Speaker.
Order, members.
Madam Speaker, we cannot introduce...
Order, honorable members. The leader of majority was on a point of order. He was not contributing, so you will not react to the point of order. Honorable Rindikiri,
Madam
Rindikiri,
Speaker,
that was a point of information.
My 3 minutes have gone. Madam Speaker, the other question that we need to ask ourselves, how can a civilian walk into a police station, destroy the vehicle, destroy the family, and expect the police to keep quiet? Madam Speaker, I cannot believe that the police can destroy themselves, they can kill themselves. There is an attempt to have organized criminals by the want demonstrations, and that's exactly what happened. These people have destroyed police stations in Kisumu, they have destroyed police stations in Homa Bay, they have destroyed police stations in Migori. And this is the attempt.
Madam Speaker, I'm on a point of order.
What is your point of order?
Madam Speaker, is it really in order for the Speaker on the floor to be allowed to go on and on to profile members of the Luo community and to be aided by the leader of majority? Is this House going to allow, is this House going to turn itself into a forum or arena for profiling the Luo community so that we know and we deal with it? Madam Speaker, are you the one allowing that?
Order, members.
Are you allowing this House to become a forum or arena for vilifying the Luo community?
Members.
Is that the policy of this government? Is it one of the policies of this government to profile the Luo community? Tell us what we can deal with you.
Order, members.
Yes.
Order, members. Order, members. This is a house of record. Honorable Rindikiri. Honorable Rindikiri. I know members are saying I don't allow points of orders, but it is a right by the standing orders, but I will not allow frivolous points of order because many members want to contribute. Honorable Rindikiri, You will wind up, and I will give to the next person.
Madam Speaker, I am not talking about things that are not documented by the government. The statistics of police installation destruction by the so-called demonstration, there we will produce it in this house so that people can say whether how come that the police stations in other sectors of this country were never destroyed? How come all of them are in one region? What are we talking about? We can pretend for now, but the fact remains that we have statistics of the police.
Order, members. Honorable Rindikiri, your time is up. Order, members. Let us keep the decorum of this house. I'm also struggling to hear, so that when you raise a point of order, I know what the member said, because you're making too much across the aisle. There is no one on the floor, good people. Allow me to give the next opportunity to the Chair, Security Committee, Honorable Tongoyo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. First, I think I want to really appreciate Mheshimiwa Buyu, who is a member of my committee, for bringing a very important motion. And I'd expected members really to approach this with a lot of decorum and adhere to the standing procedures and the standing orders of this House. Madam Speaker, I want to start by passing my condolences to the families of people affected.
What is out of order?
No, Madam Speaker, I wanted to indulge I wanted to seek your indulgence whether we should treat, Madam Speaker, I was saying whether we should treat the chairman of the Security Committee in the House, the Honorable Tongoyo, as a suspect or as a member who's contributing. Because he's the chairman of the committee that oversights the police. So where do we place him as a suspect?
Order, Honorable Junet. Even the mover of this motion is a member of the same committee. You know, let us not go there, because even Honorable Rosa is a member of the committee. So Honorable Tongoyo, please continue.
Madam Chair, I think we should ignore that, because as you alluded, then even the member who brought the motion should be treated as well, if that is the case. Madam Speaker, I've just said we should really, I'd expected members really to pay attention, because it's an important subject. And Madam Speaker, it's true, we all have witnessed what really happened. Protect me, Madam Speaker.
Please take your seat.
So, I think...
Honorable Millie, what is your point of order?
Chair, I'd actually tried to get your attention even earlier, but you had not seen. And my point of order, actually, I'm not even too
There's no point of order.
She has no point of order. Is that almost 5 times.
Is that a point of order?
Is that a point of order?
Honorable Millie Odhiambo, I have given you this microphone not once. Order, Honorable Millie. Order, Honorable Millie. Honorable Millie Odhiambo, you're an experienced member of this House. I have already given you the microphone, so I will just ignore that and continue with Honorable Tongoyo.
On a point of order, Speaker. Point of information, sorry.
Yeah.
Call the suspect.
Do you want to be informed?
Yes.
By the leader of majority.
You know, Honorable Speaker, I wanted to inform the Honorable Tongoyo to ignore Honorable Millie, because she says she knows me. And I know what she's alluding to. And I am not interested. Number 2, Honorable Speaker, the leader of minority justifiably said we must not turn this House or this debating chamber into a chamber for profiling a particular community. And I agree completely with Honorable Pio Wandai. And that is what I was pleading when I spoke to the leadership in Luo Nyanza, especially the mover of this motion, being a member of the Security Committee chaired by the Honorable Tongoyo, that you must not profile your own people, because Kisumu is home to thousands of Kenyans not Luos. It is no coincidence also, Honorable Rosa Buyu, that Kitengela is also home to many Kenyans, not one particular community. Therefore, I just want to inform Honorable Tongoyo that in his committee on security, he must also deal with the leaders who are profiling their own communities.
Honorable Tongoyo, continue. Honorable, you will not stand. Take your seats. Take your seats. Take your seats. In fact, I have only 2 people who have put interventions here. So please, Honorable Tongoyo, continue.
Switch off this mic.
Honorable Harrison Kombe, what is your point of order?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, would I be in order to ask the chair, to ask those people rising on points of order to state which standing order they are standing for? Thank you.
Honorable Chepkonga, what is out of order?
Madam Speaker, I hope Honorable Kombe knows that I'm a lawyer and I know what I'm doing. 2, Madam Speaker, this house has degenerated into chaos because we have refused to follow standing orders. Standing order number 87 is very clear. No one should rise without stating on which standing order it is. And Madam Speaker, I now rise on standing order number 87 as read together with standing order number 34. Madam Speaker, there is no quorum in this house. We cannot continue debating very serious matters when there's no quorum. There's no quorum. Number 35. Standing order 35. No. Standing order 35. Madam Speaker, if at any time after the chair is taken or when the house is in the committee, there is no quorum, there is nothing to fear. There is no quorum in the house. And you know, I am a person who believes in order. There is no...
Order, members. Order, members. A member has risen in his position under standing order number 35. And I will therefore order the sergeant at arms to ring the bell for 10 minutes.
First of all, has to establish that we have no numbers. Yeah, you have to order that we ascertain.
Sergeant at arms, ascertain the numbers in the house. Sergeant at arms, ascertain the numbers.
The business of the National Assembly is currently on. What we have on the floor at the moment is a Quorum Bell on, directed by Honorable Martha Wangari, currently presiding over the business of the National Assembly at the moment. And remember, the National Assembly at about 2 hours ago or thereabout adjourned the normal business of the House to discuss a motion on matters police brutality brought to the House by Honorable Rosa Buyu, where members of the National Assembly have been ventilating on the aspect of police brutality in the country. After the discussion on this particular motion, a member rose on a point of order, informing the chair that the House lacked quorum to sort of carry on with its business this evening, and that informed the directive by the Speaker to direct the Sergeant at Arms to ring the Quorum Bell for about 6 minutes. And this particular Quorum Bell that is currently on is to allow for members of Parliament to make their way back into the chamber so that the House commences with its business. And remember, the House is currently debating a motion on matters police brutality. This is a motion that has divided the House right in the middle, as members of the opposition as well as the majority side sort of debate, agree and disagree on this aspect of police brutality. We have had members of the Kenya Kwanza wing led by the Majority Leader, Honorable Kimani Ichung'wah, expressing reservations in regards to the recent demonstrations by the opposition, and that is AZIMIO la Umoja One Kenya coalition, raising concerns over the nature of the opposition, over what the government says is equal to anarchy, and those particular demonstrations were not in line with Article 37 of the Constitution that gives members of the public the rights to demonstrations. According to the leaders from the Kenya Kwanza wing of the National Assembly, the opposition in one way or another went against the provisions of the Constitution in the manner in which members of the public as well as the politicians from the AZIMIO la Umoja One Kenya carried out their demonstrations. Members say that those particular demonstrations went ahead to destroy lives, property, and that is against the provisions of the constitutions in regards to how members of the public are supposed to carry out protests. Away from what members of the Kenya Kwanza wing allege, we've had members of the opposition also having their chance on the floor, speaking into this particular issue. And of importance to note is that members of the opposition allege and are accusing the state of somewhat politicizing the police service, which they claim is a dangerous trend if we allow the country to go to that particular route. The opposition further claims that its members were just going on with their business of demonstrating against a number of factors, among them the cost of living, and what they were getting from members of the police service was aspects of brutality, being maimed, and so forth. And what they want is for the government to explain if the aspect of members of the security is...
Order, members. Member for Starehe, member for Embakasi. Order, members. Order, members. We have not attained the required numbers, and therefore we will all be upstanding, honorable members. And the time being 6:21 p.m., this House stands adjourned until Tuesday, 1st August 2023 at 2:30 p.m.
support the motion which has been moved by my colleague, the Honorable Rosa Buyu. And Honorable Speaker, this matter is very serious. It's very serious that when I hear my colleague, Dr. Pukose, speak like we are here to joke, Honorable Speaker, it's very sad. Honorable Speaker, as one of the people who participated in these peaceful demonstrations, I want to say, Honorable Speaker, that the police decided to engage in genocide in this country. And Honorable Speaker, we know that the police serves the regime that is in power. The regime which is
What
in
is
power.
out of order, Leader of Majority?
Honorable Speaker, you know, our standing orders are very clear, Honorable Speaker, on matters of statement of fact, Standing Order 87. And the member, if you can protect me from Honorable Tiende Amolo and ask him to hold his emotions and allow me to say what I'm saying, Senior Counsel. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, the Honorable Member Samuel Atandi has said that the police engaged in genocide. Honorable Speaker, unless the member can substantiate